Welcome into Hawk Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Keffer alongside Gabe Sustick and Gabe Hyannis with a 6-1 win tonight over the Wareham Gatemen. A much-needed win as they get their first win in the last 3 days on 14 hits. That's the big one. 6 runs on 14 hits tonight. The offense absolutely exploded. You see a Dylan Busby home run, and you also see Peter Zyla jump in on the action. What do you think of the offense?
I think you have to like what you see here, especially them struggling in the past couple of games, finding hits and scoring runs even. I mean, against Katuitt, they found ways to get hits, but they couldn't score the runs. They came out here early and on fire. Dylan Busby, the 3-run homer, and Peter Zyla going 3 for 4. And that's what you like to see from them. And you've seen from them before. From top to bottom, this lineup, when they're on, the entire lineup can be on and really can get hits and runs scored. And that's when they're at their best, especially with Mac Sceroler, who was dominant on the mound.
Mac Sceroler, the starting pitcher tonight, went 5 strong innings and only let up 4 hits, as you saw. Matt Naylor in relief, James Harrington in relief, and then Garrett Cave coming in that 9th inning, getting 2 strikeouts, 95 miles an hour clocked out on one of those strikeouts as well. But Mac Sceroler was absolutely spectacular tonight. You saw the fastball, you saw the curveball, you saw the whole works from him. What'd you like from his start tonight?
I think the biggest thing you like from Sceroler, I mean, look, he's been plagued by playing the same team twice for the 3rd time, and he came out, he did great. I think you love to see after that 2nd inning, he had the bases loaded, he found ways to get out of that inning without allowing another run except for the solo shot, and he came back and he went through the rest of his time in the start really spotless there. I think that's what you like about him, that he came back in and he learned what he did and he got better at it.
Learning is all pitchers and players do up here on the Cape League, and Mac Sceroler in his last start, as he will be heading home in the next few days after some innings limits up here on the Cape League. But man, what a pleasure it was to get to know Mac Sceroler, and thank goodness he is our player of the night, the Hawk Talk player of the night. Nicole Hansen caught up with him after the game.
I am here with our Hawk Talk player of the game, Mac Sceroler. Now, you started the game today. What was your mindset coming into this game with it being your last start here on the Cape and your 2nd time seeing Wareham?
For my last start, I just came out here and didn't try to do too much and just try to throw strikes and not try to overpower hitters and just locate the ball and keep the ball down and get hitters out.
And now you had a little bit of a rough time. In the 2nd inning. What did you kind of do to bounce back from that after and do really well against all the batters after that?
Well, I found myself trying to overthrow and trying to throw it past hitters, and you can't do that at this level because then you just leave the ball elevated and then they hit it, which they were doing. But I just learned to keep the ball low and then let them get themselves out.
Coach Corn came out to talk to you in that 2nd inning with a couple runners on, and you got out of it after that without letting up any runs. What did he say to you out there on the mound?
Oh, he just told me, what I just told you, that I was trying to overthrow and I just need to settle back in and, do what I came here to do and just throw strikes and get hitters out.
What was working for you in your pitch sequence, and what was kind of your go-to pitch throughout the night tonight?
I found my changeup really working. I got ahead with that quick, and then once you establish your off-speed, then the bat's yours. So just establishing the inside half and the outer half and just keeping hitters off balance.
Lastly, like I said, your last start on the Cape. You're here a couple more days, though. What was your favorite part about being here and playing for this team on the Cape this summer?
Probably the friendships that you make up here. Every person up here has the same thing in common with you. You come a long way from home and you just play the sport that you love, and you just bond very good with your friends. So probably friendships.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nicole, and thank you, Mac Sceroler. What a pleasure it was this Cape League season with you up here. And Gabe, he talked about Ray Korn, a big moment there when he came out and visited him in his time of struggle in the 2nd inning, and talked about not trying to overpower hitters because you can't really up here on the Cape League. And it's wise words from a guy who's been around the block.
Yeah, unless you're Garrett Cave and you can blow past people with high 90s, you have to be with Mac Sceroler, and that's really what a pitcher is. He's a breaking ball kind of guy, and he likes to go down low, and I think that's really what Corn, has done when it comes to being in the bullpen or when it goes to be on the mound. He hasn't gone on the mound too many times, but he really helps Sceroler there and tell him that you have to do this, you have to go and work this way with guys. And I think that was a real teaching moment for him, especially now that he gets to go back to school. Even if he's only been up here for 6 starts, he learns something up here being on Cape.
6-1 win the night for Hyannis tomorrow night, playing against Bourne, who currently occupies that 3rd place spot. But tomorrow it will be a matchup for 3rd place. Hyannis has not moved that high in the standings all season, and Bourne, similar to Wareham, on a similar losing plunge in this 2nd half of the season. And what do you look for in this next game, especially with Alex Eubanks getting the start on the bump?
You have to look for Eubanks and how he does after coming off that Katuitt game as well, where he struggled. But you look for the offense. You look as I mentioned in the broadcast, can the offense turn the page and keep going with getting hits and runs? That's the big thing against Bourne. And really for both teams that are struggling, both teams that are trying to stay in third place and avoid Katuit, who's been hot as well. But it's really, especially for Hyannis, gaining momentum as you go to the All-Star break and finish for the final part of the season.
And speaking about the All-Star break, the All-Star game happening right now. We will be headed to our television soon to watch the end of that one. But Gabe, who do you have, the AL or the NL?
I think we're going to take the AL.
Really? Okay, I'm going to say this. Since 1983, the AL has won 22 out of the last 30 All-Star games. I'm going to go with Chris Bryant and Bryce Harper in the NL tonight because, you know what, I think that Buster Posey, Madison Bumgarner connection is just going to be unstoppable. Both Cape League players.
And Johnny Cueto,
and
who's starting too.
Johnny Cueto on the AL side, also a Cape League player. For Gabe Sustick, I'm Jack Keffer here at Hawk Talk.